Time travel in the MCU is not what you think. Most people assume it works like Back to the Future. Change the past, fix the future, everything's solved. Wrong.
So Back to the Future is a bunch of bullshit?
The MCU has completely different rules, and if you don't understand them, you'll never figure out how Steve Rogers showed up as an old man on that bench. So let's break down exactly how MCU time travel works. Rule 1, you can't change your past. Bruce Banner says it clearly.
Time doesn't work that way. Changing the past doesn't change the future.
If you go back in time, that past becomes your future, and your former present becomes the past, which can't be changed by your new future.
If you travel to the past, that past becomes your future, and your former present becomes the past, which can't now be changed by your new future.
Let me break that down because it sounds confusing as hell. Imagine you're standing in 2023, that's your present. Everything before 2023, that's your past. It already happened. Now you travel back to 2012. From your perspective, 2012 is now your future destination. You're moving forward through the quantum realm to reach it, and 2023, the place you left, that's now your past, the place you came from. It already happened, it's fixed and unchangeable. So anything you do in 2012 can't reach backwards and alter 2023. Because from your perspective, 2023 already occurred before you left. You cannot alter the timeline you came from. Even if you kill Thanos in 2012, your 2023 stays exactly the same. Thanos still snaps, half the universe still dies. Why? Because the Thanos you killed wasn't your Thanos, and it was an alternate reality Thanos. Your Thanos, the one who snapped, lived, snapped, and got killed by Thor. That history is locked. You can't undo it. You can't change it. You can't rewrite it. This is the opposite of Back to the Future logic. Rule 2. Every change creates a branch timeline. So if you can't change your timeline, what happens when you do change something? Answer, you create a branch timeline, an alternate reality that splits off from the original. The Ancient One shows this perfectly with her glowing diagram. This happens every time you change anything, not just when you take Infinity Stones. Any alteration, any interaction, any difference from how things originally happened, the moment you arrive in the past and someone sees you, branch. Every action creates ripples, and those ripples form new timelines. Let me give you a concrete example. Example 1, Steve fights 2012 Steve in Stark Tower. That didn't happen in the original 2012. In the main timeline, 2012 Steve just walked out with the scepter, no fight, but when future Steve shows up, he needs that scepter. Past Steve sees him, thinks he's Loki in disguise.
I have eyes on Loki, 14th floor.
The moment that fight starts, a branch starts, new timeline. In that branch 2012, past Steve now knows Bucky survived. He knows something impossible just happened.
Bucky is alive!
That knowledge changes everything going forward in that reality. Maybe he looks for Bucky sooner, maybe he questions S.H.I.E.L.D. earlier, maybe Winter Soldier plays out completely differently. We don't know, because it's a different universe now. Example 2, 2012 Loki escapes with the Tesseract. This is the big one, the change that launched the Loki series. In the original timeline, Thor takes Loki back to Asgard in chains, Loki goes to prison, fakes his death and impersonates Odin, eventually dies at Thanos' hands in 2018. But in this branch, Hulk smashes a door, Tony gets knocked over. The Tesseract slides across the floor right to Loki. Loki grabs it and opens a portal. Vanishes. No journey to Asgard, no Dark World events, not Ragnarok as we know it, and not even a death scene with Thor. That Loki is living a completely different life in a completely different reality, until the TVA shows up and prunes him. But that's a whole other story. Example 3, 2014. Thanos learns about the future and jumps to 2023. This one's wild because it creates the most drastically different timeline. In the original 2014, Thanos stays. He sends Ronan after the Power Stone, waits, plans, eventually attacks Xandar, builds his army, and launches his quest for the stones. But in this branch, War Machine knocks out Quill. They grab the Power Stone, but Nebula's cybergenetics glitch. 2014 Thanos sees everything through her connection. His death, and Thanos makes a decision right there. He's going to 2023, he's going to stop them, and takes his entire army forward in time. Which means 2014 in that branch. No Thanos, no Gamora, no Nebula. They all jumped to 2023 and died there. That timeline lost its biggest threat before it even became a threat. No Guardians of the Galaxy form because Gamora is gone. No Infinity War because Thanos never attacks. No Snap as he's already dead in the future. An entirely different universe where billions of lives take completely different paths, all because the Avengers needed the Power Stone. Each of these changes creates a permanent branch. a new universe where events went differently, and those realities are real and they continue existing. Rule 3, the quantum realm is the gateway. Now let's talk about how time travel actually works. The technical process, the equipment, the mechanics. You need 3 specific things working together. First thing, Pym particles. These shrink you down to subatomic size, small enough to enter the quantum realm. The quantum realm is a dimension beneath normal reality, where the laws of physics break down completely. Time doesn't flow normally there, it's not linear, it's not fixed. 5 years in the real world feels like 5 hours in the quantum realm. That's how Scott Lang survives 5 years trapped there. Second thing, Tony Stark's time-space GPS. This is the game changer. The quantum realm is infinite and impossible to navigate. Without proper coordinates, you'd be lost forever. Tony's GPS locks onto exact coordinates in both time and space. Not just when you want to go, where in space and which reality. You input a date, May 4th, 2012. You input a location, New York City, Stark Tower. The GPS calculates a path through the quantum realm. Most importantly, it remembers your universe. So when you return, you don't end up in the branched realities present. You come home to your timeline, your 2023. Think of the quantum realm as an ocean connecting infinite islands. Each island is a timeline, a universe. The GPS is your boat. It takes you from one island to another. Third thing, the advanced tech suit. This materializes around you when you activate the GPS. It keeps you stable during quantum navigation. So here's the full process step by step. Put on the time-space GPS and activate it. GPS creates the advanced tech suit around you. Inject Pym particles and you'll begin shrinking. GPS navigates you to the chosen time and place. Exit the quantum realm at your destination. Do whatever you came to do. Complete your mission. Reactivate GPS. Re-enter the quantum realm. GPS navigates you back to your present in your universe. Exit the quantum realm. And you're home again. And if you miss any of these components, then the whole system fails. No Pym particles. And you can't enter the quantum realm. Rule 4. Removing infinity stones dooms timelines. Here's where it gets dangerous. Remember, any change creates a branch. But removing an infinity stone, that doesn't just create a branch. It dooms that branch to complete destruction. The Ancient One explains this clearly. The 6 Infinity Stones aren't just powerful weapons you can use to reshape reality, they're the literal foundation of reality.
Infinity Stones create what you experience as the flow of time. Remove one of the stones, and that flow splits. Now this may benefit your reality, but my new one, not so much. In this new branch reality, without our chief weapon against the forces of darkness, our world...
Think about what each one controls. Time Stone controls the flow of time. Past, present, future. Space Stone controls physical space, location, distance, travel. Reality Stone controls matter itself, what's real, what isn't. Power Stone, raw energy, the fuel of the universe. Mind Stone, consciousness, thought, intelligence. Soul Stone, the essence of life itself. Together, they define the structure of each universe. They hold reality together. Remove one and the whole structure becomes unstable. Let me give you a specific example. Remove the Time Stone from 2012. No way to fight Dormammu when he invades in 2016. Doctor Strange can't trap him in a time loop. Earth gets consumed by the dark dimension. Everyone dies. Reality collapses. That's why Bruce makes his crucial promise to the Ancient One.
We can erase it, because once we're done with the stones, we can return each one to its own timeline at the moment it was taken. So, chronologically, in that reality, it never left.
This keeps those branched realities from collapsing. The stones are back. The timeline is protected. It's still a branch, still an alternate reality, but it's stable. It survives. The people there live, instead of being consumed by darkness. Rule 5, time travel is multiverse travel. Here's the truth nobody realizes at first. Time travel in the MCU isn't really time travel, it's multiverse travel. When you go to the past, you're not going to your past. You're jumping to a parallel universe that looks like your past. When you return to the present, you're jumping back to your universe, not to that alternate reality's present. Your time-space GPS makes sure you land in the right reality. This is why Tony's invention is so brilliant. He didn't just solve time travel, he solved multiverse navigation. Tony's GPS lets you navigate between them precisely. So when Doctor Strange 2 introduces multiverse travel, it's not new. The Avengers were already doing it in Endgame, they just didn't call it that. The Avengers time heist created multiple branched realities. 2012, where Loki escaped. 1970, where Howard met a stranger. 2013, where Frigga knew the future. all of these branches were supposed to be temporary. So, if the Avengers created all these branches, why didn't the TVA stop them? They arrest people for being late to work, for stepping on the wrong leaf. But the Avengers break 6 timelines and nobody says a word. Why arrest Loki but let everyone else walk free? Loki asked this exact question in his show. Episode 1. He's sitting in a courtroom about to be erased from existence, and he looks at Mobius and asks, they broke the timeline into 6 pieces and it was supposed to happen?
What they did was supposed to happen. You escaping was not.
Not supposed to happen? According to whom?
The timekeepers.
But here's the truth. It was supposed to happen, just not for the reasons the TVA agents think. He Who Remains orchestrated the entire thing. He sat at the Citadel at the end of time, watching, calculating. He saw every possible future, just like Strange did in Infinity War. But He Who Remains saw even further. He knew exactly which events needed to happen. The Avengers had to time travel, they had to mess up in 2012. Loki had to escape with the Tesseract, because that specific Loki, the variant from 2012, would eventually reach the Citadel. He'd meet Sylvie, he'd learn the truth, and he'd become something more, something necessary, the god of stories, the one holding every timeline together. So the TVA let the Avengers do whatever they wanted, but when Sylvie killed He Who Remains, the system collapsed. No more pruning, no more resets. All those branches started growing, uncontrolled and infinite. That's the multiverse. Infinite timelines, infinite realities, all because the Avengers needed to time travel to save the universe. So here's the bottom line. MCU time travel works through the quantum realm. It requires PIM particles, a time-space GPS, and a protective suit. You cannot change your own timeline. Every change creates a new branched reality. Those branches are permanent. Taking Infinity Stones dooms timelines unless you return them. Your present stays locked no matter what you do in the past, because the past you visit is actually an alternate universe. Time travel isn't really time travel. It's multiverse travel through the quantum realm. These rules prevent paradoxes. They keep the main timeline safe, but they also open the door to infinite possibilities. And that's how One Time Heist accidentally created the entire multiverse saga. Welcome to the MCU, where time travel doesn't change the past, it just creates infinite futures.